You from Philly, so how has Philly impacted, you as we know Sunday Carter today overall? Like, I know you've been in LA for a long time, but talk about your Philly roots and how has it impacted you?
Well, I was born in LA, right?
No, I didn't know
Okay,
that.
yeah. So
Okay.
I was born in LA, and then my dad was like in the army, so we moved around a lot. And
Okay.
then my family, they're here. So
Okay.
basically, I mean, Philly raised me.
Okay.
And I feel like Philly is a hard town, and it's given me like my foundation to be able to remain humble and remain true to who I am.
Okay.
So by me even moving to LA, it hasn't changed me at all. As far as like
Okay.
people being able to approach me or my friends. I have the same friends, hey Sheena, that I've had forever, before even making the change and the transition. So I feel like Philly, if I hadn't moved here and lived here for so long and been around such realness, I feel like I could possibly have been a victim in LA of the fakeness. You know what I mean? Because it's really like all smoke and mirrors out there.
Okay.
So I mean, it just prepared me for the worst. It actually gave me that situation where I can walk and have a conversation with the president, or either I can be over here in the hood. You understand
Okay.
what I'm saying? So I get the best of both worlds, and I learned that here in Philly. So, shout out to Philly for, teaching me everything I know and teaching me how to be a survivor. So that's how I was able to maintain and stay in LA for 15 years because of Philly.
You definitely took Philly with you because you were so real.
When they get on the line.
I was like, good.
I mean, hey,
You
that's how I know how
oh
to
my
be
God.
real. I can't be fake, and I'm not going to be fake, no matter if the producers want me to be or not. And that's just what it is. And I mean, I know I was portrayed as like the villain, but I'm a sweetheart. I'm a caring person. Of course, I'm here with my child.
Mhm.
Right.
Great mom.
You're a mom.
And I feel like I wasn't given the opportunity to really show who I was and,
Right.
that positive side of Sunday, because they kept making the Philly Sunday come out.
Right.
They didn't want the LA Sunday, you know what I mean? They didn't want the uppity, businesswoman. They wanted this ghetto ratchet. I'm sorry, not to say that that's what, Philly is, but we're like tough in our own right, you know what I mean? And we
Yeah.
just don't take any nonsense. So with that being said, I mean, I had to just like
So they do that with like the editing and then how they set stuff up.
Well, yeah. I mean, editing is mostly, I would say, 99.9% of reality TV. Because I can have a conversation with a person and say like it is an argument, and the way I may respond to something that they put in there that doesn't even make sense, because that conversation was a totally different conversation. So I'm like, hold on, when I see certain things, like, wait a minute, that was said in another conversation. So it makes you look crazy. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, oh, she went too hard, or she's just, it's no filter with her, which sometimes there isn't, because you have to be that way. You're not going to bully me. You're not going to say what you want. You're not going to disrespect me or my family. And if you want to Google me or whatever and have this opinion about me prior to even getting to know who Sunday Carter is, that's on you. Like, I came in very naked, very organic, and open book. And this is my life, and I wanted to present it to the world, and they were not allowing me to do that. So, yeah, I had to kind of just, set a couple people straight, and yeah.
You set a few people straight.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I mean, and I was listening to like some of the interviews that you've done in the past, and that was like always the first thing they would say, the villain.
Yeah.
Like, how do you like really feel about hearing the villain? Like,
the thing is, you have to have a villain on any reality show.
Okay.
If you think about reality TV,
Yeah.
there's always a villain.
that keeps them
And I
moving.
think because of my realness, because of me being so blunt and honest about everything, down to my feelings about whoever, and just the fact that I knew certain things about certain people, they were kind of intimidated. And I mean, it's just like they were like going behind my back and trying to get me fired, and it got so crazy. And I'm like, are y'all serious? Is this real? Like, are we really doing this? And I don't know. I just kind of like, yeah. Like,
So who are they going to?
I'm sorry?
To like
To
get
get
you
you
fired?
fired? Like production.
Is that Shawnee that they go to?
I mean, she is the EP, but there's a gang of them that, you know, roll in the credits. But yeah, I
Rolling the
mean,
credits.
just showing up in the credits. I mean, it's a gang of EPs up there, but you know, so it definitely pushes your buttons, and it made me grow a lot. It made me kind of watch what I say and the way I say certain things, because a lot of things are taken out of, you know, context. So when you can't control it, I mean, hey, and me being the villain, I didn't really mind. I just was like, you know, whatever, because y'all starting with me. So at the end of the day, if you keep starting, I'm just gonna finish you off. I mean, in a fight or whatever, an argument, I'm just not gonna have a filter. Like, I'm not looking at you as, okay, you're the person with, you know, this, that, and the third, or you have something going on. I'm just looking at you as Bugsy, and we're in an argument. You hit me below the belt first, then I'm going to hit you even lower, and that's just what it is. And I mean, I need to work on that, because yeah, that gets me in a lot of trouble sometimes.
That got you in a lot of trouble, but
It didn't really get me in a lot of trouble. I mean, people really didn't know what was going on with that situation, because I know you're referring to the Brandy situation. But if you look at that particular episode, I wasn't even talking to her. I was talking to Malaysia, and I was actually trying to bring peace within the situation between her and Jackie. And I think the episode or so before that, we had a conversation, and that's why Malaysia came into the breakfast room in the first place, because she was supposed to come and, you know, talk to Jackie and try to make amends or whatever. And that didn't happen, and when it didn't happen, after I was under the impression that it would, I went after Malaysia, not Brandy. Brandy just was a snooze fest, and she just wanted to just, you know, insert herself into a situation, because now we're at what, like the 9th or 10th episode, and you've been a snooze the entire season. Everybody just fast forwards you. You know, they want to see, what is Sunday going to say? So at the end of the day, it kind of was like she had to pick a fight with somebody, so pick it with me. So I felt like this: if you're going to talk about my private parts and things that you have no clue about, because you Googled me from the beginning, you said it out of your mouth, you went behind my back and you got all this information, which, you know, is false. You should just ask me, you know, but instead she, you know, painted her own picture in her mind or whatever about me, and that kind of is what set the tone for the argument. And a lot of the things that she said to me, nobody heard. They only just heard what I said. So like I said again, or I'm going to say again, I wasn't looking at Brandy as a surviving cancer patient. We've done a cancer project here in Philly, you know, for a friend of Deja's, and her mother was passing away, and she didn't have, like, she was in, like, I believe she was in, like, hospice. And they didn't have the money. So we came and again put another dance situation together. Cedric and I paid for it. She raised over like $7,000, gave it to the family. So I'm not a person that's like a cancer basher. My grandfather, he passed away from cancer. It can happen to anybody. But just because you have, you know, that to kind of make you the victim doesn't make it right for you to be able to be a bully to somebody else.
Of course,
I would have been going for the jugular too.
Yeah, so like if you're coming at me about my personal and private parts, and like I said, and you're putting all this stuff out there which wasn't shown, then I'm going to talk about yours. I mean, I'm just sorry. That's just what it is.
That's me.
That's real.
That's how I'm riding.
I hear that. So let's
So it
play
really
this.
wasn't, you know, it wasn't any disrespect to the whole cancer situation. It really wasn't. It was more
of her.
her disrespecting me and
You
me
retaliated.
kind of, just reversing the
Setting them
charges.
straight.
Yeah.